We're gonna do our final two pieces of Guardian games. I debated about going to Captain's Log because I think Captain's Log is fascinating, but that's like 12 entries. Go read that on your own time. We've covered the story of Catabai pretty thoroughly at this point. And also, if you haven't been scanning your data pads in Presage, you should be doing that because the final room is unlocked this week, and it's pretty big lore implications there.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I haven't unlocked it on my own. I'm still 2 weeks behind because data pads are the data pads are finicky, man. Sometimes sometimes they want to unlock, sometimes they don't. So I'm 2 weeks behind. I watched the scene though. I believe it was Bife posted the clip, so I've seen it. I've done it. Excited about it. Still going to do it on my character. But this first one we have is Phoenix's Fire. It's the Warlock bond for this event. Challenge every aspect of your opponent. Sometimes a strong body hides a fragile psyche. Ikora Ray. Prakish sat on his gray Hornet, parked in his usual spot at the base of the tower. The former Guardian read dispatches from Spider's associates with one eye and watched his runners scurry about with the other. The young kids took bets from all over the city and delivered them to Prakish at the appointed intervals. Once the action paid off, the bookie would send the older kids to settle up. Any incalculable debtors were dealt with by Tolnik, his enormous ex-Crosshair bodyguard, who was currently leaning against the tower, scratching himself. Prakish chirped a low call to Tolnik, who snapped to attention. A fire team was gliding toward them from across the courtyard. The Guardians' cloaks billowed in a non-existent wind, and their feet barely touched the paving stones. Prakish rolled his eyes. Warlocks. Prakish called out, looking sharp. I love the bird hat? This is Fellwinter's helm, jackass, the Voidwalker fired back. Probably costs more than your sparrow. Good, Prakish retorted. Then you've got the cash to pay your debts. Valgusco wasn't quite the mad dog you thought she was. The Warlocks glanced at each other superentiously. About that, said the Sunsinger. We don't have the moats yet. Tolnik, sensing his moment, stepped forward with a menacing flex. Prakish stayed his enforcer with a manicured hand. Steady, Tully. These are learned scholars. I'm sure they have a needlessly complex plan to make things right. We do, said the Stormcaller through gritted teeth. Double or nothing on the Guardian Games Crucible this week. Prakish gave a low whistle. That's some heavy action. Who are you backing? Us, the Sunsinger responded, against Meloria's Titans. Prakish's eyebrows shot up. Meloria's at the top of the leaderboards. She's dangerous, and you guys are stylish. It's a bad bet, unless the bookie tapped the side of his nose. You know something I don't. The Voidwalker tossed her head as if flicking her hair, then realizing she was still wearing her helmet, awkwardly put her hands on her hips. Let's just say she's about to have a bad case of existential dread the night before the match. The Warlock snickered. Little trick I picked up from the Scions, the Voidwalkers finished. Titans put all their armor on their chests, the Sunsinger opined, and none between their ears, like a castle with no roof. The Voidwalker guffawed. Isn't that why they always look like they're getting rained on? The Stormcaller dropped his voice an octave, puffed out his chest, and lumbered around on bowed legs. When the only tool you have is a Titan, every hammer is a nail. Indeed, the Warlocks chortled and high-fived each other. It's settled then. Prakish pulled out his datapad. You guys beat Meloria this week and the slate's clean. Otherwise, I get the moats, he said, and winked at the Voidwalker. And that fancy hat. The Voidwalker was suddenly serious. Guys, no, come on, she implored her teammates. You know how many Ingrams I had to... Deal, the Sunsinger interrupted. He removed his gauntlet and pressed his finger to the datapad. Deal. Prakish smiled broadly. Good luck in the Guardian games. Not that you'll need it. I love these types of lore entries that kind of show us life outside of the, Vanguard. Mm-hmm. And it just deals with characters that we're never going to encounter ever.
Right.
But it's, just so satisfying. Something about a Guardian bookie just makes me so happy in a very weird way.
I know, we kind of talked a little bit about it last week. It's just
definitely,
it's so funny. It's just it's funny because you think of it's almost like a Star Wars sort of way where in the prequels you're okay, yeah, they're focused on the council and the Jedi and whatever, but then in The second movie, they're like down in this slums, and there's bars, and there's the guy selling death sticks, and you know what I mean. Like this kind of gives
you want
me
to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Oh man, I really hate that.
So
I know
great.
that.
It's so great.
It's the best part of the whole movie.
It really is.
Let's be honest here. But like, I love how they're showing life outside of the tower and outside of the Guardians and outside what we're seeing. And it's like, oh, there's actually like people's lives are going on, and people are trying to live and do what they need to do to survive. And you know, it's neat. It's cool. And like sometimes there's shady shit going on. So it's awesome.
The other piece that we have, we're finally getting to the Titans. Lion's Pride. With fists like those, who needs guns? Everyone else, that's who. Lord Shax. Prakash sat on the Grey Hornet, parked in his usual spot at the base of the tower. The former Guardian was hoarding a kimchi burrito purchased from a food cart with one hand while scrolling through Crucible results with the other. Side tangent. I love that he basically has a Guardian iPhone, and he's doing exactly what the rest of us do while we're holding, like, Chipotle.
Right.
This is fantastic. This is fantastic world building, Bungie. Guardian games always brought an influx of betters, and he needed to know which fire teams had the hot hands. It was shaping up as a banner year for gambling. The bookie's hulking bodyguard, Tolnik, was leaning against the tower, looking at Cabal pinups. The ex-Crosshair clicked his tongue in warning. Prakash's attention shifted from the burrito to a trio of enormous titans lumbering toward them. A glob of kimchi plopped onto his fur vest. The fire team leader, a Sunbreaker, loomed over the bookie. You got something on your hair shirt. Prakash tossed the remainder of the burrito over his shoulder, splattering the side of the tower. Yep, that's alpaca. He crossed his arms over the stain. What can I do for you? The sentinel stepped forward. We want to bet on the hunters to win the games. Prakash's eyebrows shot up. Really? Do I smell a fix coming in? This is huge. He leaned forward conspiratorially. Safala's not in on it. Is he? The Titans glanced at each other in confusion. The striker spoke up. No, we want to bet on the hunters. The bookie frowned. Yeah, you're betting on the hunters because you're going to throw the matches. Their blanked, helmeted stares prompted him to clarify. I mean, your plan is to lose on purpose, right? The Sunbreaker looked taken aback. Titans never lose to hunters. Yeah, we're much better at fighting, the Sentinel affirmed. Hunters are always jumping around with their little knives or hiding in smoke. He waved his arms around frantically. But I just put up my wall and then Tanish punches them, like really hard. It's true, the striker proclaimed earnestly. I can punch super hard. So your plan is to win, Prakash clarified. The trio nodded empathetically. Then why, the bookie asked slowly, are you betting on the hunters? The Sentinel scoffed. Element of surprise, my man. They'll never see it coming. Him and the Sunbreaker fist bumped. But all bets are confidential, Prakash explained. We wouldn't be here if we weren't confident, the Sunbreaker bragged. Prakash pinched the bridge of his nose. He was developing a headache. I mean, all bets are secret. Nobody will know what you wagered. Obviously, the Sunbreaker condescended. Wouldn't be a surprise if everybody knew. The Sentinel tapped his massive finger to his set temple. See, Warlocks aren't the only ones who can come up with clever centrifuges. Prakash threw his hands up in capulation. Fine, I'll take your bet. He pulled out his datapad. But I want to be really clear. If the Titans win the Guardian games, you're never going to see your glimmer again. There's more to life than glimmer, said the Sunbreaker. I can't wait to see the look on their stupid faces when they find out. The bookie shrugged. Then it's a deal. Good luck in the games. I think. This is the most Titan thing ever. Really leaning into the crayon eating here.
Yeah. Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Dude, this stuff's so funny.
Do you feel insulted, Corey?
No. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's still funny.
They just said you're big, dumb, and stupid.
I mean, that's...
Twice.
I mean, to be fair, that is the class that you pick when you're big, dumb, and stupid, and that's why I made a Titan. So
This is the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's not... They're not... The truth hurts, but it's still the truth.
That's pretty great, though. I really like that we got those 4 pieces of lore over the last couple of weeks, especially the one about Cade.
Mm-hmm.
That about Cade and the Crow, that really kind of hit home, especially Christmas Grandma knowing that she was making a cloak for Cade's killer.
Right.
Just really, really, well, I guess not knowing, technically, but her making one for Cade's killer regardless.
Mm-hmm.
That just kind of, hits home. I really, really, really like these little side stories, and I think that that's what these events should tell. If it's something that they give away to you, I think it should tell a little side story, maybe one that, like, okay, it doesn't really matter to the overall lore, but it grows the world a little bit, and it kind of lets us see a different side of the Guardian. So lets us see a different side of the city.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love the little details. The kimchi burrito it kills me. It kills me when I read that line. He throws it over. It's alpaca. Things like that, like, oh, we're gonna bet on the hunters. Like, you're fucking stupid. Why are you betting on the hunters? And I think that also gives it a canonical reason for why the Titans don't win now.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
like it intentionally gives a canonical reason.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty hilarious, actually.
So, but that's going to conclude our final lore corner for Season of the Chosen.
Yeah, man, it's
stories next week.
New season.
It's Mithrax time.
Oh man, dude, we're getting all of our favorite fall in this expansion.
To be fair, there's only 2 of them left, so
yeah, it's fair. And one's missing an arm, so
one's missing an arm. He was already missing another arm.
Yeah, so
things are not going great for Varix the Loyal right now.
Yeah, Varix. I love Varix. I love me some Mithrax.
I'm just excited to hear him talk.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what's he gonna say? Like, watch him sound like fucking Jim Belushi.
Oh my god.
They secretly got Chris Rock to record voice dialogue for Mithrax.
Oh god. Or Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm tired of these motherfucking falling in my motherfucking kill.
Oh man, I hope he sounds ridiculous.
I hope he does too. I think this is just so great.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this next season. Chosen was strong. I mean, in terms of the actual seasons, it's the strongest that we've gotten.
Oh yeah, by far.
I really hope, at least on paper, it looks like they're going to continue this. So, very, very excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this season, and I'm intrigued to see what they do with the long last season, right? Because that's, they can't really help that it's going to be that long, right? But
yeah, that's the only thing that concerns me is how that goes.
Yeah, but I'm excited, man. Season Splicer, it's coming. It's coming.
Season of the Splicer. Oh man.
I want this armor.